Poland's Deputy Foreign Minister is on a two-day visit to India. He held meetings with his Indian counterpart. He spoke to DD India's Jessica Tanecha about the India-EU Free Trade Agreement and a potential defence agreement. Listen in.
India and the EU concluded a free trade agreement after nearly 2 decades of negotiations. What, according to you, got it across the finish line?
I think we realized that it's quite important that given that between India and the EU we would form a bloc of 2 billion people, that we should cooperate, because it's the competition and the new tariffs are making life difficult. That's why the EU also concluded a treaty with Latin America, with South America, with Mercosur, although that is more contested. It gives us a huge possibility to grow our businesses. Artificial barriers to trade do not help to grow economies.
You said the trade deal with Mercosur is still pending because it has to be ratified by the European Council and the European Parliament. That is looking at a potential deadlock. How confident are you that the India-EU FTA will be ratified both by the European Parliament and then, of course, proceed to the European Council for final implementation?
That's a completely different deal. First of all, in a very pragmatic way, the Secretary of Commerce of India and the negotiators on the European Union side decided to concentrate on something which can be achieved. Every contentious issue was deliberately excluded from the deal because we don't have to agree on everything. We just have to agree on enough for the deal to make sense. And therefore it will not be contested in the European Parliament, because actually it makes lots of sense. Mercosur was different because there were some provisions in the deal which seriously harm some European countries.
Poland has 44 billion euros additional money on defense spending, as you had pointed out. How are you planning to engage the Indian industries for potential partnerships in the future?
We're talking with India now that the EU also signed security and defense agreements with India, so India can be included in the spending of this 44 additional billion euros, because India is interested in our drones, India is interested in our radar systems, in our movable anti-missile systems. We are interested in producing satellites in India. So we are interested in Indian artillery shells, in some other matters. In some things we are looking at Indians producing in Poland, some things Poles producing in India.